What if Toph was the Avatar? Well, two things could happen. She'd either rise up and become the best Avatar in existence by bringing long-lasting peace to the world while barely using the other three elements, or option 2 is that she gives in to her Melon Lord side and conquers the world with a metal fist. Oh, I hope it's the first one. But seriously, Toph is a fan favorite for a reason, so what would the original Avatar show have been about if Toph was the Avatar? Well, let's discuss right now.
I am Melon Lord!
Alright, so in what alternate world could Toph be the Avatar? Well, if we really want to be logical with this, we could say that Sozin's attack on the Air Nation was successful and he ended up wiping out the Air Nation, including the young Aang, RIP. And then Rava's spirit was passed to the Water Tribe, until that Avatar's death around 87 or 88 AG in a freak surfing accident. Is it perfect? No, but come on, just drink some cactus juice and eat your cabbage salad and just go with it, okay? So that leaves the door wide open for the only child of the uber-rich Beifong family to become the next Avatar. And I think that's fascinating to think what Toph's childhood would have been like if she was the Avatar. As we know, her parents took Toph's blindness as a major hindrance and sheltered her from the world in order to keep her safe. Of course, you try locking Toph up for an extended period of time and you'll see how tough that can be. Since avatars can take a while to be found and discovered, Toph's childhood would be the same. She'd still run away when she was young, encounter the badger moles, and learn her earthbending from them, using her blindness to her advantage to better see the world around her. And yes, she'd still kick major butt in those Earth Rumble matches. But now, this time, there's no Team Avatar to convince her to run away with them. Maybe once her powers start manifesting and everyone realizes she's the Avatar, this would be the catalyst for something big. We know two major things about Toph's parents. 1, they take their noble status extremely seriously. And 2, her dad looks like Nicolas Cage in animated form. Seriously, once you see it, you can't unsee it, people. But back to the noble status stuff, I imagine they would want to control and do the whole Avatar thing in a proper way and turn it into some kind of formal affair, which wouldn't work for Toph at all, causing her to make the tough decision to run off on her own to find her own way of mastering all 4 elements to stop the Fire Lord. So how would Toph's training go? Well, we'll start with the easy ones. First, I think Toph would gravitate toward fire. Firebending is very aggressive at times, and that would be something Toph responds to. She can be forceful and outspoken when she wants to be. It might even come easy to her. She's spent her whole life being pent up and locked away thanks to her parents, but with firebending, she can unleash all that inner rage we know she can have. But that's the lesson she'd have to master with firebending. As Aang learned, fire is its own living thing and can get out of control relatively easily. Just like a teen who experiences college partying for the first time after a life of following the rules, it's easy to go a bit overboard. I think Toph's firebending would get out of hand, which would be especially hard for her. She'd realize that although firebending is powerful, it's even harder for her to maintain and control compared to earthbending. This would make her a bit hesitant to use it. Next up is waterbending, and I think Toph would find it incredibly soothing after the disastrous firebending debacle. She'll learn to listen and feel the water around her and control it much the same way she does with Earth. I mean, I could see a scene of Toph standing at a big river and feeling the flow of the water to know what's either upstream or downstream. Learning waterbending would calm her down and teach her how to be patient with her bending. Plus, I'd just love to see someone like Katara trying to teach Toph waterbending. I mean, I love Toph, but I don't think she'd make the best student, do you? But even though she can master waterbending, she's still running into the same issue as firebending, where her blindness makes it hard to control water, just like it did with fire. And finally, here comes airbending. Just like how Aang's hardest ability to learn was earth, Toph's hardest ability would be air. For one, all the airbenders are gone at this point, and she's not exactly able to read scrolls to learn technique. I think the only way for Toph to learn airbending at this point would be for someone like that fancy guru Aang met assisting her. But it's difficult when you don't have someone to actually demonstrate it, which makes it even harder for Toph than it already is. And while Toph may come close to giving up, I think a turning point in her airbending practice could tie everything into place. Once she stops being hesitant of airbending, Toph would learn how much the world this opens up to her now. As she starts feeling the air, then she can truly feel everything. It's like the whole world after this point is unlocked, and she'll learn that mastering airbending will help her control and see all other elements. No longer would she be unable to control her fire because of lack of sight, because she would use her airbending senses to help guide it and use it. Same with waterbending. She would essentially be an avatar who has to constantly use her airbending skills paired with fire and water in order to use them effectively. And although that might sound hard, I have total faith Toph could do that no problem. So after she masters all 4 elements, what would that mean? Well, an epic final battle, of course. And now, this is a way to rewrite one of the few mistakes the Last Airbender show did. Originally, Toph was helping in the fight on the balloons with Sokka and Suki, but besides using a little metal bending, she wasn't that useful since it was all in the air. But now things have come full circle. She would have to stop the balloons and Ozai basically all from the air, cutting off her earthbending and forcing her to rely on the other 3 elements to fight the Fire Lord, as well as take out those big scary balloons. Wouldn't that be so fitting for Avatar Toph? Having her obviously be a master at earthbending, but at the end forcing her to use everything else in order to save the day. Hey, sounds perfect to me. Man, I know Avatar Studios will be making new content in the future, but they should definitely follow the MCU's What If show and explore stories like this. Because I need to see Avatar Toph, don't you? Well, with Toph as the Avatar, this would create a whole new argument about which Earthbender was better, Toph or Kyoshi, and I can't deal with that kind of pressure to choose. That's too difficult, don't you think?